Ezekiel Kralin wrote a story titled Amazing Day Again, Dog Sitting Outside. Ezekiel wrote, Deke dropped the dogs off around 1:30 p.m., and we camped out by the bus stop for a few hours. Then, when a chill wind kicked up, I moved our little family to the ATM depot for better shelter. Their master didn't return until 7:45 p.m., but apologized for being so late. He was a bit pissy when he dropped the dogs off, yelled even when he saw me walk them around the corner. So that's why the bus stopped today, which was okay, as the weather was great, and had I not been at that location, I would have never met this incredible woman, Frigga Risa Katie. She ordered a meal at Super Duper and sat outside, smiled at me, and admired the pups, and the conversation took off from there. The back and front sides of her business card are attached to this email. She no longer works as a tattoo artist, but she is quite the artist. Told me she just got an award for her graphic novel. So I searched her name, and sure enough, here it is. I didn't read this before, so I'm going to circle that and save that. I'd like to look on the web for that. The Institute for Anarchist Studies, of all things. Now, that's my kind of gal. She's an activist of many causes, including gay shame. In a little while, Cleo joined me on the sidewalk and sat beside Lucky, and very much enjoyed my activism as an advocate for homeless LGBTs. Told her about my street friend Deke, who owns these hounds, and I dog sit for him so he can run his errands without having to pay constant attention to them. I even told her a bit about Randolph Taylor. Toward the end of our badinage, she said, "How'd you like to be on Instagram?" "Fine with me," I said. "Take all the pictures you want." So she snapped away, including a selfie of us, the first selfie I've ever been part of. She now has my own card, Brindlekin Tales, so can check out my writing and activist adventures. "You should be famous by now," she exclaimed. "I agree," I replied, "but everything in its own good time. Well, I'm here for you now, so get ready for the boost. You're a very good man, Zeke. You deserve it." I cracked up. Gee, everything's going so fast in my world all of a sudden, like. The woman's amazing, outgoing, cheerful, wisecracking, and, the woman's amazing, I missed that, outgoing, cheerful, wisecracking, and robust. She's a large lady, though not obese. You would love her, Watson. I even brought you up as my greatest confidant and supporter of my writings, and in more than half the chapters of Free Me from This Bond. Gee, can you imagine my writing finally taking off as a gift to the queer community, and Frigga my illustrator? Now, get this. In the middle of our delightful conversation, while she still sat at the table, Boulevard Joe came walking by, and they know each other. Very well, it seems, but he didn't stay to join us, so I know little at this point about their relationship, but I surely will bring her up next time I see Joe. I just emailed Frigga to make our contact firm and included my phone number. Meanwhile, shortly before Deke returned, I decided to get a cheap bean and cheese burrito 2 doors down because I didn't want to spend too long upstairs because the dogs would be left alone for too many minutes. It was only $5.95, and I brought a cup of my own soda from my fridge. Only cost me 95 cents, since some very young fellow around 11 years old stopped by this afternoon where I was seated with the pups and handed me $2. And 2 days before, some sweet little old Asian lady gave me $3 to help me out. Deke was very pleasant upon his return, and I am now upstairs while he's resting below, waiting for his newest smartphone to reach 100%, which is just about now, I think. But if I find him sleeping when I tell him the phone's ready, I'll just leave it in my room, along with 2 speakers and a battery pack, just so they won't get stolen, because he snoozes like nobody's business. A bomb could drop, and it wouldn't even make him stir. P.S. Oh, yeah, and a young fellow who works at Super Duper stepped out a little while after Frigga departed and offered me a generous serving of French fries and asked if I would like some ketchup with that. I said, sure, thanks. Addendum. Frigga does a ton of activism in the Tenderloin and invited me to attend some events with her. I told her I'd love to go, but I have a major obligation to remain at home base for the sake of Deke and his doggies. I found her website. It's all about her tattoo art, but it's temporarily offline. Yet an image search got me her photo from that site. See picture. I'm guessing the snapshot was taken 15 to 20 years ago, as she has a more filled-out face and has dyed her hair blonde, but you can see the Native American in her. And according to that anarchist page, she was then living on Ohlone land in Oakland, and she's bipolar, like myself, Deke, and I guess you, Watson? The mark of the true artist, I suppose. She very much enjoyed my telling her about my being an anthropology major, focusing on Native American culture. "Do you have some Native American in you?" she queried. I said, "Nope," then described my incredible advisor, who was half Sioux and half German, Erhard Kraus. So the Great Spirit has come to me once more, this time through a most incredible Native American lady, definitely a shaman, a medicine woman.